Good morning, everyone. Michael and Rob here at Lake Michigan Angler. Thank you for joining us for our weekly fishing report, which we're going to get into. So a lot been going on. The lake's been doing lake things, changing around quite a bit.
Yep.
And so we're going to get to the report. Been out this week. A couple days ago, Rob was out this morning again. Other boaters, of course, share their reports with us. Before we get to that, let's quickly just cover what's new here at the shop. One thing we're excited to have here, we've been talking about how we've expanded this selection of tapes for those of you that are enthusiasts that want to create your own kind of flasher, experiment with things. We now have Spin Doctor blanks, and we just received the Spin Doctor tapes. So we've got basically all the prime stuff, the UVs, translucents, the bubble tapes. Got green bubble, we've got blue bubble. Blue bubble's been doing really well for me too on the white Spin Doctor. And a bunch of the other cuts as well. So if you're looking to make your own flasher, we have the Spin Doctor stuff as well as the regular 8-inch standard flasher tape cuts. All of it here, Dodger tapes, all that stuff there. So come on by, check it out, and come up with something pretty cool that becomes your new favorite flasher to use. Anything else that came in, Rob? That we cover?
Rods and reels. Seems like they're coming in every single week. Some nets. We got Loki nets. Some Beckman nets, some Ranger nets. So we did get some new nets. We got the fiberglass handle nets that everybody likes. So we got some extendable ones with hook-free netting. So we got a bunch of those. Restocked divers this week. Restocked ninja boards this week. And Munda has been busy tying flies. So we got a couple bags of his flies here. We got some frogs, some glow frogs, some of the super frogs. Some new ones, so they've been working. We had a nice king on one of those this morning.
We also got, let's not forget, now's the time most folks start getting into the meat, and we got muscle meat rigs in here.
We got muscle meat rigs. We got some familiar bite, some really fresh familiar bite. So that's good. And stinger. We got some of the original proper HUD specials here with their correct tape on it. So if you need HUD specials, they are here.
All right, cool. Let's jump into the fishing for today's report. Now, the last week or so, there's been a lot going on with the winds leading up to the last few days. We had a lot of strong south winds. And for those that are not familiar why the south wind is actually the fastest kind of wind to cool things off, is that south wind comes straight out the south, and it really blows that nearshore water cold quicker than the west winds will. And again, last 3 days, early in the week we had strong south winds. Then about Wednesday, guys were able to get back on the water, and like we knew, that water was really cold, real close to the shoreline, out to like 50 feet or so. It was really cold water there. And then what's interesting is you'd go a little bit deeper, and then it would warm back up at the surface. So again, that shows you that like that band, close to the shoreline cools off. So that first day, I think it was Wednesday, was when guys got out after things subsided, and they were knocking them down in like 40 to 70.
One of the best days of the entire season so far.
They were knocking them out of the park. All those fish slid in, and it was really great fishing. We're really excited to share that we're seeing more kings, and the kings that are coming in, good sized kings.
Yep.
Like, I'm really excited. We were talking about this. Up to this point in our area, we haven't seen a ton of them. Guys were catching them here and there, one per trip or whatever, maybe two, but not like.
Now we're starting to see some multiples.
Even if they don't land them, you're just getting, it's a king on, you've hooked into one. And just overall, the size quality has been really impressive. Last year, we saw an average of like 15-pound fish. Right now, man, it's consistently 19 to 20s. 20s has been pretty.
Yeah, we got a 17-pounder today. There's been some much bigger ones caught, though.
Yeah.
So
saw 32 somewhere. I mean, it's really looking good. I'm excited for the fall. A lot of these fish that in the early spring, Michigan had those spring kings. They were knocking them out of the park. Then they dissipated from there. They weren't on our side. People were like, where exactly are they at? They started to show up. I've been hearing really good things at Sturgeon Bay off the bank. They've been killing them. So there's a lot up there. I say all that to say, though, that a lot of these fish that have eluded us up to this point in this year that have survived, come fall, if they continue to survive, they're going to be some monster kings. Yeah. I'm excited to be out there in the fall, where everyone gets to be out there.
I'm excited to take a chunk out of the population before fall.
Yeah. Well, if you didn't lose the one on Thursday, we're going to put that video up. You guys got to see it. The fish huck-tooied on his lure and got off on him. And Rob Rob almost threw the rod in the boat. It was pretty funny. All right, let's get into the actual fishing. So we went out, myself, Rob, and Phil, aboard the box stuffer on Thursday. We attempted to do a video. It was a complete bombing. It was tough conditions, right? The fog.
Fog was bad.
The fog from hell. We were like, it was like Pirates of the Caribbean.
It got a little rough. It was boats just appearing out of nowhere.
It was like Captain.
Even with radar, you really had to keep an eye out for things.
Yeah.
So we all had to get to work anyway, so we called it a quick morning.
Yeah. I killed the video because it was just too much rocking with the rollers and the waves, and then we were all just looking outside the boat. I was like, we're not going to film today.
Yeah.
And the fishing wasn't like what Wednesday was.
No, it took a big change. I think later after we got off the water, picked up for some of the other guys, but still wasn't amazing. Yesterday was good, really good actually. Today was pretty good too. It was good early, and then it kind of tapered off. We had to work for them a little bit, but it was pretty decent fishing.
Yeah. So on Thursday, we left out at North Point. We shot out southeast, and I think we set up in about 50 feet of water.
Yeah.
So we went out maybe a mile or 2 miles southeast, and then we set up there. A lot of bait. There was a ton of bait when we set up there. The water was cold. And one thing we noticed really quickly that Phil pointed out on the boat, looking at the fish hawk, there was a big gap in that current under the water. I mean, we were going at the surface. I forgot what he said, and down below was like way slower, and then it flip-flopped. And we saw a lot of temperature changes at the same depth. Like the rigger down was like 30 or 40 down, and literally we see the temp go from mid-50s down to like upper 40s. So there was pockets of cold water flowing through, which is really interesting stuff, and that plays into it. But we saw a lot of bait.
Yeah, today we noticed we had more consistent temperatures down below, but what we saw was a speed. Depending on where you were on the water column, we were down near the bottom was a much different speed than just like 40 feet up from the bottom. So that's something to consider too. Like, hey, why are only my deep rods, or why are only my shallow rods working? It might just because the speed's working for you at one depth better than another.
I wanted to point this out for folks. You guys know about the Fishhawk entire system, but for those that want a little budget-friendly option, I just got to point this out. This is such an underrated product from Fishhawk, the TD. Great for kayak anglers. I really recommend have them, and small boaters if you don't want to have a whole system out of your price point right now. What do these cost, Rob?
$200.
$200, and this allows you to just shoot this down and get those temp breaks. And so at least you have an idea of like where you need to be putting some stuff down in the water. Really, really helps out a lot. Great value. So I just want to point that out as we're talking about this, because that's an important part of this. We were using that Fishhawk on the boat to really give us that information, and it played into part because I know once Phil pointed it out, Rob went over to the dipsies and started putting stuff out further and took a fish right away. Yeah. Big cohos. Excuse me, let's talk about our setup, what we were running.
Yeah, what were we running on Thursday? I think both the...
Bullfrog, we had a Bullfrog Dragon Slayer on the wire.
That one right there, right?
No, this guy.
Oh, I'm sorry, this frog. But we were using this one too.
We did.
Yeah, that one on the wire was good.
Yeah.
This one's been good too. Yeah. We've been running that on a braid dipsy. That's been taking some fish.
Yeah.
Mainly flashers and flies for us.
It's still been flasher flies heavily.
Yeah.
The one spoon that did take bites, and actually been seeing a couple more reports. Wonder Bread's been actually the one spoon that's starting to be a little more consistent, more than others, and that's just based off of people's other reports they've posted online, and from our trips that moonshine on. I forgot what you had it on, but
I don't remember anymore either. I think it was a copper.
I think it was a 150 copper. Took some fish. Guys are still catching fish up high in the water column. 5 colors is still taking fish up there. Even seen some folks with 3 colors with a double O or a stubby.
Yeah, so we had the 5-color stubby on Thursday. That was one of our better rods.
Yep. So don't neglect the top part of the water column. These fish still go in there and feed in that warmer temps and stuff.
Today our best 2 rods were we had an SWR down with bad toad. So we did have a good spoon bite going there, and then we had a what was it? It was the wire diver. I don't think I brought one up. Oh, here we go. with salmon candy, Russell's Valium. That was a good one. Otherwise, actually, we were running this one. It's called Ryan's Black Magic. We ran that on a copper. That took some fish. The Mr. Chrome Gill Pickle took a fish today. So it was a variety. We were changing up quite a bit, just because we couldn't get anything we didn't felt dialed in. So we were changing things up a lot. So a lot of things just caught 1 or 2 fish.
Yeah, I think it's been probably. I think that's been par for the course this last week. It's just kind of really, just kind of changing things up to just give them these options and stuff like that. Sean said we took a 31-inch steelhead on a Mag UV Wonder Bread on a 7-color on Wednesday. There you go.
Yep.
You know what? That reminds me. Steelhead have been showing up.
Yeah, we got one today.
Oh, you did?
Yep.
How big?
Probably like 6-7 pounds.
That's a nice size.
It's a long, skinny one. So
yeah. No, that's pretty cool to see. We're seeing the steelhead show up a little bit more. It's really starting to shape up to be, multi-species on a trip. You can get a little bit of everything. Still predominantly coho.
Yeah.
And the coho are chunky.
Yeah, there's some nice coho.
Man, there's some nice coho here. The other thing that you should expect is to lose a lot of fish. That's been pretty consistent now for a few weeks. These coho are popping off on you. The other day, Rob had a big king. I mean, we knew that was a big king. Fought it for a while, ended up throwing the hook on them and stuff like that. So these fish are getting off. Don't get too frustrated. It could be many different reasons why that's happening. It could just be short striking it.
Just the nature of big cohos. They're good at getting off, and they're good at breaking you off too.
Yeah, because when you get them close enough in the water and you see them do their death spin, you can see how they can get the right angle and it will just come right out. So
yeah, I get a lot of people that come in here and think they're doing something wrong because they lost a bunch of fish, and it's really they could just be doing it all right. They're just good at getting off the hook.
Yeah. Chris, what's up, Chris? Tingle Tackle said we're getting steelhead now also on the high lines pretty consistently. That's nice because you guys are on the Michigan side. So any kings back your way yet over there? I'm curious to know if they're over there as well. But it's nice to see you guys are getting steelhead because, again, they were pretty absent from up to this point. And now they're starting to show themselves. So I always wonder where they're at in these other parts of the year. Where are they sitting at that no one finds them? Let's see. I think that's a good recap of kind of what's been happening in our area over here. Looking to the next couple of days or so. I mean, what are we looking like for the forecast?
I haven't even looked. I think tomorrow's supposed to be a strong westerly wind.
Yeah.
Should be decent near shore. So I think they're only calling for 1 to 2 footers. If it's 25 out of the west, it's going to be rough out where the fish are, but we'll see what happens. It might be fine. They got today wrong so far. So
yeah, there's
maybe
a big
they'll get lucky
SU.
about tomorrow.
Yeah, they got the SU Open happening right now, and they had a small craft advisory for 10, but it's flat calm out there. It's no wind. We're looking out there. There's almost no wind. So that's happening there. Don't forget, we are an official weigh station for the Ultimate Salmon Derby. We've already weighed some fish. If you are participating in that, you can come by the shop here to get yourself weighed in and taken care of. And they are running this every 2 weeks. So if you want to get involved, big prize pools and all of that, feel free to check out the ultimatesalmonderby.com and get involved. Salmonorama is going to be right around the corner. So now's the time to gear up your coppers, your wires, your lead cores, whatever else, because everyone's going to be bombing us at the shop to get their stuff respooled. Right. We're going to get really busy. So
don't come in 10 minutes before I close the Friday before wanting 6 coppers spooled up for you.
Please help us help you. Just come in if you know you're going to get stuff prepped.
Call me ahead of time.
Yeah.
We'll make it work.
Exactly. But we're excited because things are just, turning up. Good fishing, is here. Kings are around. We've got some more tournament and events to take part of. And then before we know it, we'll be back in August with our Big Pond Brawl, the continuation for that for the back end of the series. So we're looking forward to that. Prime time fishing, all that. Chris had a few adults around. Quite a few skippers. Took one yesterday over 23. Nice. Yeah. It's been pretty consistent, man. Good sized fish this year. So definitely a step up in quality, I would say, over last year, where last year we saw quantity of fish. So, which one do you prefer? Let us know down below. Do you like the quality or do you like the quantity? Going out there consistently catching them versus maybe not, but, you're getting a 23, a 25, potential 30. Let us know. I think that's all we have to share for today. Is there anything else we need to touch on, Rob? Oh, we did real quick. I know we're talking about salmon, but for those of you that are doing bass fishing, we do have something to share on that.
Yeah, I got in a whole bunch of bass gear. So I've got whopper ploppers and regular poppers and buzz baits, spinner baits, Cincos, flukes, bunch of stuff I don't even know what it is. But no, I just don't remember. All sorts of different soft plastics and everything. Yeah. So we've got. Trying to remember everything over there. There's a lot of new bass stuff I didn't have before.
A lot of new bass stuff. A lot of the main like bass staple lures. We noticed
tubes and
we noticed quite a few people more and more recently coming in looking for bass stuff because you're fishing the ponds around here, Sterling Lake, you might be going to Lake Andrea or the Chain, and so we took notice of that, and so we wanted to add some more stuff there. For those that are into bass fishing, so come on by, check out the selection. If you need something here, you'll probably be able to find at least the main staple things, as Rob pointed out. So I wanted to share that as well. So that's all we got for today's report. Hopefully you find this useful. Feel free to stop on in and check out any stuff that we have here. We're happy to help you guys out. If you're new to salmon fishing, feel free to check out the rest of our videos and our podcast right here on the channel. A lot of great information that we've done with our, ourselves, and we also have collaborated with many captains in these podcasts and on the water videos, where you can really help shorten that learning curve to help you out get in the water. You can always stop in here and talk with Rob and myself as well. Happy to help. So thank you guys for watching. Best of luck out there in the water. Be safe as always, and we'll see you hopefully next week. Bye.
How's it going?